This is Terry Kurtz On-Line reporting on Victor Valley, High Desert, and Mojave River Valley events, activities, entertainment, sports, and history. On this report, Joseph W. Brady has invited these Spring Valley Lake community leaders to explain the importance of upcoming meetings in developing a plan to purchase Spring Valley Lake Country Club.
Terry, Spring Valley Lake is 51 years old, and I'm honored to have two really good friends here. Brian Hurst, who I've known forever, one of the top residential agents within the High Desert region with First Team. David Greiner, who's the owner of the local Greiner GMC Buick dealership. Brian has really taken the lead for the association as vice president of the association in the acquisition of Spring Valley Country Club. Next week, there are 3 meetings that are going to be chaired by Frank Vane, who is one of the country's, if not top, golf consultant, who has worked in 2,500 golf communities across the country. Some absolutely top-rated, deals. The board very smartly 2 or 3 months ago hired him to come on in to facilitate this. So you've got a board that Brian sits on as vice president with Brian Bickert and Alfred Logan, the general manager, and Bill Scott, and some great members. And you're trying to formalize a plan in Spring Valley Lake. It's got 4,215 lots, 93% built out, 10,000 plus people, and there's all kinds of rumors out there. So I've heard rumors about this is a plan and this is how much money. I just went through last night, I looked at 264 Facebook messages that have been posted on the community page. And we have obviously some very concerned citizens and residents and owners in here, but they don't have the plan.
To me, the most important fact is that no decisions have been made and no decisions will be made without community input. So if you've heard that there's a plan or someone has inside information, I would strongly challenge you to show up to the meetings, because this is the point where the board's asking for feedback.
But I can tell you, Terry, that for me personally, and I think that I can speak for the rest of the board, but I'm going to speak for myself first and foremost, what I want to do is only what the community wants us to do. So we're listening to them on this is what we want. And this kind of thing does raise emotions. Mm-hmm. One particular person that I read in the Facebook feed said something about his anxiety about the situation. And that kind of clued me in. I'm like, okay, you and I both have a lot of anxiety about the situation with the golf course, because we know if the thing were ever to fail, how detrimental it would be, not only to us personally, but to all of our community. And one of my really good friends, Bobby Tarango, who's over at Chicago Title, said the ripple effect in our whole valley will be it'll be palpable.
This is the only private country club from Ontario to Las Vegas.
It would be, so the worst case scenario is what we absolutely want to avoid, but we're looking at it from a lens of a different understanding as opposed to somebody else who in their mind, at least at first pass, the worst case scenario is any increase in dues at all to them and their bottom line and their cash flow. And we try to be sensitive to that. So I thought, well, okay, so their anxiety, they're feeling the same kind of anxiety because of the unknown, and they are not privy to all of the information, and so they're left to fill in the spaces with conjecture, or they're left to fill in the spaces with the rumor mill. And then you end up in a path where with the issue that's at hand is very much distorted and skewed based on misinformation and rumors and innuendo.
One of the issues, and this was brought about by Robert Reed, who was the prior treasurer last year, if we're going to borrow some money to purchase the country club, which is a purchase price of $2 million, and we're going to refinance the water at $3 million and change, why don't we look at some other assets? So a community pool, an Olympic-sized pool, the skate park. So the list became kind of this big list, and as Brian and I have had some pretty serious conversations. I love him to death. He's a brother. He's a pastor. We both believe deeply in God. I've passed on to him these rumors that we've all heard out there, and candidly, part of the video tonight is to say to people, be sure, be sure, be sure. No excuse. You got 3 days. Tuesday is going to be at 2 o'clock for those people. If you can go to the 2 o'clock and not be at the 6:30 It kind of helps the commuters. But you've got one of the country's absolutely top consultants in Frank Vane. I cannot tell you how pleased I am that the association hired him. That's going to help us create the plan.
I've been fortunate enough to kind of listen and watch from a distance at how things are progressing, and Frank Vane has made it incredibly clear that this board is not to make any action until they get this community feedback. So the most important part of these informational meetings, because ultimately the feedback that the board gets from this community is the direction that they're going to go with the plans.
Once we get to this place where we present a plan, we're going to invite every homeowner to review the plan in its entirety with every detail, and then provide feedback and tell us, this is what we like, this is what we don't like, do this, don't do this. And then with Frank's coaching, use that information to actually bring a proposal to the community that we know the community is behind and will support.
It's a Terry, it's a multi-step process. So, they've been working on the plan, and they brought in Frank Vane, who has done this. So we have some very unique issues here.
There are two things that are unavoidable. One is the water loan, which I believe the balloon payment's due in 24. Is that correct? If I'm not mistaken. And there's no way around that. We have to address it. So if that's to refinance it or if it's to pay it off, we're going to have to deal with it one way or another. And then the second issue is that the two parcels that the country club sits on are not included in the property description for our HOA. And so they're not subject to our CC&Rs, and Club Corp, for whatever reason, has determined that they're going to sell it. And for anybody that may think, well, maybe they're not really going to sell it, that they've threatened to sell properties before, 1,000% they are going to sell it. They're going to sell the property. So the issue is, if we don't buy it, somebody else will. And there are other players contending for the property. And so then the issue is, whoever owns the property can do whatever they want to with the property, and there's nothing any of us can say about it. So they could keep it as a golf course and maybe not run it properly and the golf course suffers, or they could repurpose it and maybe try to rezone it for housing. And people that say that can't be done, it's being done all over Southern California. People say, well, we'll fight it and we'll block it at the county level and keep them from getting permits, but these developers have deep pockets and they'll wait you out for 10 years and let the golf course go brown. That's happened in other places. If any of those scenarios were to take place, it would be to the detriment of our community. And as David has reminded me in our bylaws, our purpose as a board is to protect the interest of Spring Valley Lake and keep it the most desirable place to live. Obviously, if our golf course goes brown, that really is to the detriment of our lifestyle for all of us, not just people on the golf course.
If this deal does not go through, and this golf course right behind us gets in the wrong hands, I will guarantee you, as much as he'll guarantee you, that we'll see a 30% reduction in values within Spring Valley.
And anybody that would think through this would, if you were to argue these points about the lake, it would be a no-brainer, right? Nobody would say, if you drain the lake, it won't hurt us. Yes, it would. It would kill us all. And the golf course is equally as important. So we're going to have to face these two issues. We have to act on it. So then it's just a matter of how do we achieve our objectives.
So, gosh, I mean, if you were concerned, or if you're a person that has reservations, or you want to see certain things implemented in the plan, these meetings next week are imperative.
Terry Kurtz On-Line was brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Road. Bid fast and last. World-class auctioneers. Greiner, Buick GMC in Victorville. Greiner has the best damn used cars, period. Howard's, supporting and promoting the schools and civic programs throughout our high desert. Zvalu Quality Truck Body, family owned and operated since 1954. The Bradco Companies, our area's longest standing full-service commercial brokerage firm. Iwanzak Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville. The Holiday Inn, favored destination for travelers and visitors to the Victor Valley. Terry Kurtz here, throwing out an invitation for you to catch up with High Desert Sports Activities, your High Desert Sports Report, showing 3 times every day on Victor Valley TV, 7 and 11 every morning, 4 every afternoon.
What time is it, sports fans? It's time for your High Desert Sports Report!
Your half-hour High Desert Sports Report, the area's only video action highlights coverage of high school athletes, teams, and sports programs, Victor Valley College Rams, and Barstow College Vikings athletic events. We hope you'll join us right here on Victor Valley TV. Apple Valley High School alumni from the rockin' 80s, from all corners, an Emmy Award winner in Hollywood, a White House advisor in Washington, D.C., a Superior Court judge, an eye in the sky. Among the 300 reunited for one weekend in September 2014 to return to their roots, to witness a bell game victory, to play golf, to party hearty, to successfully launch the Apple Valley High School Alumni Foundation, to establish a precedent for future class reunions. The Green Tree Inn, command headquarters for the Apple Valley High School Alumni Foundation Rockin' 80s Reunion. This is the one site equipped to house scores of alumni from out of town, seat and serve in delectable manner some 300 at the banquet, provide live entertainment for dancing, and host the golf tournament. Alumni entered to find sections dedicated to classes of the mid-'80s. These memorabilia displays represent huge, time-consuming projects, each into itself. A special note of gratitude to those who spent so much time, energy, and effort into putting these displays together. Most poignant, one display dedicated to alumni of the 80s who have since departed. One tremendously gratifying aspect of the banquet and its turnout, the number of donations received from those attending to pay for dinner tickets for those who otherwise would have been unable to attend. A big hit, for certain, the photo booth. Among the most enjoyable aspects of covering the events, catching up with alumni who updated their activities.
All right, I'm MARIAM MORTON. I graduated in 1986.
What do you do today, Mary?
And I'm a Superior Court judge for San Bernardino County. I'm here in Victorville, and I'm a mom of 2 amazing boys and 1 nephew, and married to Shay Morton.
Phil Markowitz, 1986.
Phil, what are you doing these days?
I am a manager. I work for a company that builds airplanes out here in the high desert.
Michelle Bonato Tippett, 1982.
What are you doing these days, Michelle?
I do real estate, but mainly I take care of my grandbaby and a wife and mother and our business.
Where do you live now?
In Apple Valley.
Great, still here. Congratulations on doing so much this weekend for the reunion.
Well, thank you. I hope everyone has a good time, and see you, in 5 more years?
Smile pretty. Come on, Gary. Come on, Gary. Come on. Come on, Gary. 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 Gary.
Okay, Scott Workman, 1982.
You were out of the school on the Saturday of the reunion. Any changes? What'd you think?
Well, the first thing I thought was good was Mr. and Mrs. Shaver in the memorial area for them. I thought that was very touching, very good for some great people. I thought the quad area was completely different, and I thought that was great. It actually looked a lot better.
What are you doing these days?
I work at a company called General Atomics.
So you know Phil Markowitz. You have to put up with him daily, on a daily basis?
No, we work in a separate area.
Okay. Well, it is so good seeing you here this weekend. Thank you for these comments, Scott. Thank you. Nice job.
Hi, I'm Tina LaFlamme. I graduated in 1982.
What are you doing these days, Tina?
I was born and raised there. And I have 2 girls.
What all did you do in preparation? You, like so many others, put a lot of time and preparation in, and
I
congratulations.
actually stayed in contact with Michelle Tippett and came and decorated on Thursday at like 2:30 in the afternoon.
You were among the first there. Tell me this, because I may use this at the start of the video. Describe what happened at Nick's Pizza at 4 o'clock. What did you think?
It was just emotional. After 32 years of not being in Apple Valley, it was just awesome. I just had a great time.
And by 4:30, we knew it was going to be a success because it was overflowing already.
Right. And we won the game.
Yeah.
We have the bell. It was
And
great.
kicked the boots a little bit at the Cadillac Ranch.
Cadillac Ranch was a success, and yeah.
And you survived?
And I survived, and I'm here now, and it's a great turnout, and I'm so happy to be here.
I am Will Cole-Schreiber. I graduated 1985 from
What were some of the things? Yeah. What were some of the things you were involved with in high school, Will?
I was a big choir guy. I was in the Sensations with Pat Kurtz and a bunch of people. That was my big thing. I dabbled in football. I say dabbled because the fellow football players wouldn't call it much more than that, I'm afraid.
What are you doing today?
I'm at this reunion, amazing reunion, classes 82 through 87. And having a lot of fun with these kids. We're not really kids anymore, but having fun nonetheless.
What do you do for a living?
I am kind of an entrepreneur right now. I was with News Chopper 4 with KNBC for quite a couple of years, about 2.5 years. Before that, I was on Fox 11. Right now, I'm launching a new project. A website called DroneDazzle.com.
Tell us about it. Is drone photography?
It is drone photography, which I know a lot of people have misgivings, are a little terrified about drones. It's literally a camera that flies that I like to use for artistic purposes, and I think it has so much potential in the future. Amazing video, crystal clear HD. And I just think there's so much potential. Once the FAA kind of sorts out what it wants to do as far as regulating the business side of it, I think it's going to be amazing in the future.
You're not going to use it to spy on Renee Freeman, are you?
No. But no.
Because she would say, bite me.
She would say that, actually. She would say that. She probably has a gun, so I think, we don't want anything to happen to my drone, so no.
Well, thanks for being here for the reunion, for contributing to this and the success of it, and good luck with your new venture.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'm Tina Balsamo Whitehart, and I graduated in 1984.
What are you doing these days, Tina?
I do a lot of things. I'm a mother and a wife, and I own a construction company, a commercial construction company with my husband, and I'm also a real estate agent.
And where are you located?
I'm in North Carolina.
Oh, wow, yeah. So long trip out here. So good seeing you again. Thank you for being a part of this reunion weekend.
Absolutely. Same to you. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Napoleon DUMO. In high school, everybody knew me as Buddy DUMO, and I graduated in 1986.
What do you do today, buddy?
I'm a director choreographer now.
What would you rank among your major accomplishments, buddy?
Oh, my major accomplishments. I would say my new 2-year-old son, my wife Tabitha, and I would say the biggest accomplishment is probably trophy-wise is we've won 2 Emmys now. So that would be, I would say that's probably a pretty big thing for us in our life and our career.
Choreography.
Yeah.
For the Emmy
Yeah, for a
Awards.
show we won 2 Emmys on a show we do called So You Think You Can Dance on Fox.
Buddy, who are you with here tonight?
I'm here with my wife Tabitha, also my business partner, my co-director, my co-choreographer, my co-pilot.
What's the interrelation with your choreography? How do you work together?
Oh, good question.
We've been doing it since day one. We met in college at UNLV. I drug him back into dance classes, and we've been doing it ever since. I think as we get older, the relationship changes a little bit. He's kind of more in the director mode, and I'm still more in the dancer mode. But it's a partnership that's grown together, so I don't know it any other way.
Yeah, creatively we think exactly alike. So
thank you, not only for being here, but for sponsoring tea at the golf tournament and making this whole alumni weekend so successful.
Man, I wouldn't miss it. I missed the 10 year, I missed the 20 years, so I felt like I definitely had to be here at the 3rd year. What a good time it is, seeing so many people and having such a great time.
Hi, I'm Lisa KIPLINGER Kennedy, and I graduated in 1986.
What are you doing these days, Lisa?
I am now working with the Victor Valley College Foundation, and I am their Deputy Sector Navigator for the grants for the small business.
You had a lot to do with a very successful golf tournament. Tell us about that.
The golf tournament was a lot of fun. I really can't take a whole lot of credit. Scott Webb really was the one who put it all together, so I just was in charge of getting sponsors and raffle prizes. But I think everybody had a good time.
Thanks for so much that you've done, and it's so good seeing you here.
Thanks. It was great seeing you all day today.
Frank Lintow, it is so good to see you. Thanks for coming out and representing the faculty. Do you have any memories of the 80s at Apple Valley?
Terry, I'm so damn old I don't have any memories at all. My memory is absolutely shot. I do recognize some people here. Really, I thought they were part of the hospitality crew at Green Tree Inn. You know, they're coming up and they're hugging me and they're saying, you know, Mr. Lintow, you're my best teacher, you're the best this. And I go, I thought you worked here. And they say, no. I'm from like Tina Balsamo. I'm from North Carolina. I said, I thought you were in Victorville. She goes, no. So it's amazing. I do have to put my glasses on so that I can see the names of people and stuff like that. And I'm saying, oh my God, you know. And so it's a lot of fun.
Well, I'm Sherry Pierce, and I was also Sherry White for a few years. And I graduated in 1985, and well, I have a lot of memories. It was the first school I went to that wasn't a school designated for people with disabilities, so that was a big move for me. And I just remember having a lot of fun and meeting a lot of really nice people. Loved my art class, loved taking French, and I'm just happy to be here.
I'm Carol Clayton Tkol, and I graduated in 82. I know, it's a long time ago. And I was class clown, played volleyball. That's what I did.
What do you did today?
Well, right now I work in the school district and I work special ed.
Hi, I'm Cosette Brandt, and I am class of 86.
What are you doing these days, Cozy?
I am a government advisor. And I advise on federal policy, educational policy, and workforce development.
Well, we're in California, but you are not. You're on the right coast.
On the right coast.
In where? Washington,
Washington, D.C.
Because you toured the campus today. Any changes? What do you think?
Well, it looks a lot bigger than it did when I was a student. A lot of improvement in technology. I love the energy saving, the solar panels that were there. A lot of thought was put into that. Expanded buildings, less temporary classrooms. I like the building that they have with the building blocks for when the sensations sing. That was really nice. And another thing that was the highlight is seeing the original Sun Devil.
That's right.
Because he looks different than he did when...
Well, it's good seeing the original Corvette.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for...
We have a whole army of people that put this together. And
what did you think of 4 o'clock to 4:30 at Nick's Pizza? That was a pretty good indication things were going to be great this weekend.
Oh, well, actually a pretty good indication. We had over 200 people that paid online ahead of time for this dinner. So, yeah, we knew it was going to be big. We weren't sure exactly how big. We knew it was going to be big.
What are the plans? The next one coming up when, or going to get through this one?
I'm not going to be doing it. Well, honestly, I think we're going to set a precedence for future reunions.
Exactly.
You know, and something else there too. As you know, we founded the Apple Valley High School Alumni Foundation, and all the proceeds after we pay for everything is going to go to that foundation, and that's going to help, you know, scholarships, teacher mini grants, help all the school projects, stuff like that. And this is something that's 47 years in the making. We finally put it together.
Phil, did this go beyond your wildest dreams, or did it pan out the way you hoped it would?
It went very well, and I'm really happy to see everybody having a good time.
Tell us what you thought when you walked into Nick's on a Friday afternoon, and it was already full house. That was a pretty good indication. This was a good weekend ahead.
I was really happy to see a lot of the people, and it actually started off even before that. When I came into the Green Tree Inn here to just start decorating, and I started running into old friends that I hadn't seen in probably, well, 30 years. So it was really great. Turnout here was great. The turnout at Nick's, awesome. And then Apple Valley won the bell game. 31 years to 15 years. Apple Valley to victory ratio. What a great way to start the weekend and such a great way to end the weekend.
What's this whole thing mean to you, Phil?
It's just everybody having a good time. A lot of great people put in a lot of hard work. And at the end of it, look around, there's just a lot of people having a good time.
Legendary activities recalled, remembered, and a new legend born. The untold mysteries of Room 170. A never-ending stream of delightful pictures continue pouring into and onto the Rockin' 80s Reunion Facebook website. Photo booth snapshots in particular. Please be sure to check out these pictures as well as remain informed of Apple Valley High School Alumni Foundation plans, information, and activities. Victor Valley Union High School District draws upon theatrical means to dramatize their 2010 attendance stimulus policy.
ASVAB? What is ASVAB? You're doing some kind of nuclear missile drills or something on that day? I don't know. What is ASVAB?
Sure wish they had that make every day pay attendance program when we were in school.
Yeah, then we wouldn't be having to rob banks for a living.
Dr. Ryder, I presume.
Oh my word, it's the governator. Oh, I'm so excited. How are you, sir?
I am so pleased to meet you. I am here to congratulate you on your attendance stimulus package you have at the school district.
Oh, yes, but before we even talk about the stimulus package, could I get your autograph? This is such an honor.
There is another thing that really gives me a headache. Why can't the students have the cell phones on during class time? What if there's a family emergency? Or more importantly, what if I have to text everybody to let them know that the Terminator is on the movie channel tonight?
Well, maybe some of those residuals from your movie could go to our Good to Great fund for kids.
And on the count of 3, draw and fire. Got it? Got it. I think so. 1. I said on 3. Don't that fire 1? Serves him right for not finishing school. That's right.
Well, Governator, I just want to say thank you for coming. As you know, we have a 1,000-day plan. We're going to move this district from good to great, and glad that you're here to be part of that.
I'll be back.
Terry Kurtz here, throwing out an invitation for you to catch up with High Desert Sports activities. Your High Desert Sports Report, showing 3 times every day on Victor Valley TV. 7 and 11 every morning, 4 every afternoon. The area's only video action highlights coverage of high school athletes, teams, and sports programs, Victor Valley College Rams, and Barstow College Vikings athletic events. We hope you'll join us right here on Victor Valley TV. Terry Kurtz On-Line was brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Road. Bid fast and last. World-class auctioneers. Griner Buick GMC in Victorville. Griner has the best damn used cars, period. Howard's, supporting and promoting the schools and civic programs throughout our high desert. Valu Quality Truck Body, family owned and operated since 1954. The Bradco Companies, our area's longest standing full service commercial brokerage firm. Iwanzak Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville. The Holiday Inn, favored destination for travelers and visitors to the Victor Valley.